Land who can join us. Andy, disappointment, even though we're all holding our breath, but Elon Musk himself did indicate this was just a 50-50 chance of a lift-off today.
Yes, good afternoon. It is disappointing in one respect, but from a point of view from me, who have worked in engineering in the past, it's actually quite comforting to know that they're really on the ball here. You can't take a chance with anything like this, and you've got your procedures, and this is the whole point of a flight test. It's to see what could go wrong, what equipment isn't working quite so well, what problems they have, and a frozen valve is the kind of thing that you do have. If you remember when NASA were testing their Artemis-style launch system, they had very similar problems as well with a brand new system, and it's pretty normal practice for something to go like this. And you go, as you said, the full wet test, which means that you've got your liquid fuel fully loaded up, and you do everything apart from launch. And then we'll just come back and do it again tomorrow or whenever they can actually fix the frozen valve problem.
Yeah.
Whatever the frozen valve problem is, of course, we're not quite sure exactly.
And I seem to remember that the Artemis, that was a sort of valve as well, a very small part of the whole very, very technical and sophisticated rocket. So is the technology developing, as fast with just these very small components as it is with the main sort of thrusters and so on?
Yes, the technology there's been for a while for these quiet components, but it's strange. It's always this little one that actually catches you out. Today's also the anniversary of Apollo 13 returning to the Earth after its problem, of course. And the problem with that was actually one of the cheapest components on it, which was a thermostat, which failed. So, yes, it's always the little components that catch you out at the end of the day. But it could simply be that the valve itself got overclogged up because this is cryogenic fuel. So it's very, very cold. And when you see the boiling off of material there, you're actually seeing usually the outside temperature freezes, and that's why it looks white. It's a silver rocket, but it goes white because the outside temperature of the air actually freezes to the rocket itself. And you see that boiling off, which keep the pressure going. And it's just simply, it's just clogged up the valve itself. And you're going to have a look to see how you can stop that happening. It's probably, strangely enough, a very simple fix. But it's a common problem we've always had with valves of cryogenic. In the age now where we're using hydrogen fuel, we have that problem as well with the cryogenic fuel freezing up valves. So it's a common problem and something they can fix.
Yeah, so it's not the external weather, but obviously the fuel. And is there any chance of them developing a safer or more usable fuel? Because this seems to be the problem. I mean, going back to the shuttle disasters, of course, that was caused the explosion when the O-rings failed.
Yes, that was very difficult. That was a solid fuel, of course. And the problem was you light a solid fuel, you can't switch it off. It burns and that's it. You're stuck with it. Yeah. This, of course, is liquid fuel. So therefore, it's much safer. You simply switch the valves off and the fuel stops and the burning stops. So it's much safer to use. The beauty of using liquid methane in this particular case and liquid hydrogen is you get a lot of bang for your buck, and that's the whole point. You need something to give you a lot of energy. Otherwise, the rocket would be huge, even bigger than this now, and we're totally unmanageable. So really, we are having to work within the parameters of physics, with the parameters of chemistry.
And, of course, the other issue is they want the rocket back. This is reusable, so blowing it up on the launch pad is not a good idea if you want to sort of have a commercial operation.
No, it isn't, and this is why you go through these procedures. And of course, the Federal Aviation Authority, who have to license these launches, will look at this and nod approvingly and say, "Yep, you've got your safety procedures in place. This is very, very good indeed. This is what they wanted to see," and that's good. So yes, you don't want to destroy these things. Of course, this isn't going to be a reusable version. This one is not even going into orbit. It's actually doing a flight which will generally take it around the Earth and then land in the Pacific, the stop stage. And the idea for that is to do an aerodynamics test and systems test of the whole system itself. So this is a throwaway anyway. But of course, when the next generation comes through, they'll be fully reusable and will come back. So that's the whole plan, yeah.
Yeah, even that frozen valve. Andy, thank you very much indeed for updating us. Of course, so we'll see when Elon Musk presses the button for go, but certainly no launch today. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
But something that has launched in